Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Our second guest today is the Principal Advisor for Summit Trail Advisors, and he is with us to highlight work that he does with his organization to maintain multi-generational wealth and much more. So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Roberto Homar. Bienvenido.
Gracias.
So welcome so much to our show. Thank you for coming in. Can you tell our audience a little about your background and how you became a financial advisor?
Sure thing. I'm born and raised in Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico. I lived there till the age of 18, and I was raised in a family of advisors. I had my uncles who had built great businesses in the wealth management side. My parents, after a
In Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico.
Got it.
And after a successful exit from the laundry business, my parents moved on to real estate and being advisors, developers, etc. in that area.
Still in Puerto Rico.
Still in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
All of this is happening in Puerto Rico, and I went to school in New Orleans, Louisiana, at Loyola University. I came back to Puerto Rico, and I started my career at Banco Popular, which is the biggest bank in Puerto Rico.
For sure.
And a few years later, I wanted to find other opportunities. New York, Wall Street, that always sort of sounded exciting to me. So I found a way. I wiggled myself into Wall Street, and I started at UBS at the time. And then, you know, I started to learn the industry. Very different. We would work with international clients. So clients not physically, not residents of the US, building their investment portfolios. These were clients in Colombia, Mexico, and all the way.
High net worth, I assume.
Absolutely.
With UBS, yeah.
Absolutely. These were all high net worth clients spanning from Latin America all the way to Asia, Taiwan. They weren't my clients, but I would help the advisors who had these clients build out these investment portfolios. And with time, I found a way to become an investment consultant, first at BNP Paribas, a global French bank. And then most recently, my team and I joined a family office, registered independent advisor called Summit Trail Advisors, where we operate our business
So no
today.
longer with UBS.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Correct.
Interesting. So explain to us, if you could break it down for
Sure.
the audience, please. What does the role of a certified investment management individual do?
Sure.
What is the daily, weekly responsibility? What does that look like?
Sure. So
Because-
there's
I'm sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but as you said, you know, New York sounds very exciting in the financial world. So only, you know, fair that everyone
Absolutely.
gets to understand a little bit more in detail.
Sure, and it is very exciting, right? There's many things in what we do, right? We work with high net worth families, like you pointed out, right? Most of these families have had a business at some point, exited their business, and they came into some money. Now you have all this money, what do you do with it, right? So, you know, I would say a lot of our business starts doing a lot of education, right? What does it mean to have access to this amount of capital? How do we want to invest it? What are your objectives? How do you feel about risk? How do you feel about seeing your money be moving up and down in the market? So that educational aspect is extremely important. And it doesn't matter if we're doing it with a client who's new to investing or has been in the markets for many years. But education is key. What do? We find opportunities to invest that capital, right? And we can find opportunities that are more conservative. We can find opportunities that are more aggressive. We can find opportunities that are in the public markets, like the S&P 500 stocks, or we can find opportunities that are in private markets. These are companies that are privately held and not available in the public markets. And we start to develop a strategy for our clients that we believe are best positioning our clients for success. Something that's super important is that as a registered independent advisor, which is how Summit Trail operates, we operate under the fiduciary standard.
Yeah.
Right? We always have to
Which is very important also when looking for a
Absolutely.
company like yours.
Absolutely.
And I think if you could just explain that term in
Sure.
3 words, so everyone can be on
words.
the same page here.
3 words, don't count, but it's always operating with the client's best interests
Yes.
in mind. I think that's
Very
about
good.
5 words.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Sure. So as fiduciaries, we really need to make sure that whatever we're advising the client on is best for them. And what does that mean, right? We're not focused on how do we make the most money, right? We need to make sure that this is best for the client from a risk perspective, a tax perspective, and a objective perspective, right? What do they want? Do they want income? Do they want to grow their capital, right? Sometimes we think of the individual, but sometimes this individual is okay for now. They're set for the foreseeable future, and they start to invest for the generations to come, right? We build strategies that are going to make sure the next generation and the next generation will have access to education, will have access to healthcare. We have structures where the beneficiaries of them aren't even born yet, but we want to make sure that this capital that the families have worked so hard for is really leveraged for the benefit of the generations to come, of building a really strong legacy.
Very good, very good. Now, you specifically with Summit Trail, how long have you been with them?
Sure.
What does the future look like?
That's a great question. So my team and I, and I'm nothing without my team. I have a really special team that I operate with. And I've been with some members of this team for over 10 years and with other members for about 5-6 years. And we're a very close-knit team. So our team started to join Summit Trail about 6 months ago. After Summit Trail approached us, we were in a moment of change during with our previous employer. And Summit Trail approached us and offered us this platform, this business to operate out of. And, there's so many places you can go do our business, right? There's so many investment management companies, but we were really aligned in terms of values, right? Passion, integrity. Amongst those values, we were very much aligned, and we thought this is a place where we can operate our business and do what's best for our clients. But in terms of what's next, Andrea, I really feel this is my forever company. This is a privately owned company with a path to partnership. And when you become partner, this is now your enterprise. This is now part of you. And the ability to stay, the ability to grow it is something that myself as well as my team really find special.
Excellent. That's beautiful. So, and this is a question I always ask is, what if someone out there, like, we have young people that watch the show and all of that, we're interested in following your footsteps. So what does a young person, let's say a senior in high school, ready to go to college, what should be the next steps for achieving a career in your industry?
I love that question. I mean, I think at the core we need to educate ourselves, right? So be it if you're in school, if you're a senior in high school and college, finding the right tools to learn the basics about finance, right? Be it accounting, be it investing. It's good to get that at the core. But I think I'm really in the business of relationships, right? I have a team that helps me be the best version of myself every day and make sure that the advice we give our clients is excellent. But my job is to communicate, right? To build trust. And building trust is complicated, right? It takes time. So my message to people who want to join this industry is practice your communication, practice your active listening. In today's world, I feel like we might be losing some of these skills. So let's really make sure we have the ability to distill complex topics in the most simple and easy to understand ways. And then really listen, right? I mean, we have a lot of ideas, right? I could speak to you for days about our ideas, but it's only relevant to what our clients need, right?
Like a stock tip, maybe?
Oh, yeah. But it's really, what does the client need, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
what are they telling me, right? What are they worried about? What do they want to achieve? And only by asking questions, and I give credit to my mom, she did a master's in anthropology, and she will ask you so many questions, but she'll really get to know you. And I feel like I learned a little bit of that as I build these relationships and ultimately look to build
So you
trust.
can't think of math alone. You have to have your emotional skills, social skills component
Absolutely.
and marry them.
Absolutely, and there's different avenues, right?
Uh-huh.
My task is really focused on being in front of our clients, communicating the messages that, again, the team has put together. There are roles within this team that are very much specific to the math, to the analysis, to the research. And these individuals, these team members are as important, if not more important, right? They need to find those opportunities to invest in, but then we partner with them to get those ideas to our clients.
Wonderful.
So there's something for everybody,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you need to communicate. You know,
Yeah,
you need to
for sure.
communicate these ideas.
I could imagine that. So lastly, where can people find you? Please
Sure.
share your website, share your social channels or your email.
Absolutely.
Please, go ahead.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, I'm on LinkedIn. I like
Okay.
to think I'm pretty active. We post regularly. We post all sorts of ideas, right? We have 30 partners of the firm, advisors. They'll do activities, events like this one, and we're sharing with the world a lot of our thinking. So that's a great way to start. Roberto Homar. Omar is with an H,
Yes.
Homar. And that'll be on LinkedIn. And we also have a website. It's called, it's summittrail.com. It's getting rebranded, so if you check it out now, I urge you to check it out in a few months because I think it's going to be very exciting. And then lastly, email. It's roberto.omar@Summit
With
Trail.
an H.
With
Don't
an
forget.
H, correct.
H-O-M-A-R.
R. Correct.
Yeah.
At summittrail.com.
com.
I'm
Very
always
good.
happy to chat and share my
Very good.
thoughts.
Well, this has been quite an educational visit. Thank you so
Sure.
much. We learned a lot. So again, you can visit to find out more about Roberto and what his team does. Please visit him on the website summittrail.com or his email roberto.omar, Homar, @summittrail.com. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roberto, for
Thank you.
joining us. It was very educational, but unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. I want to thank our guests, Denise Shira and Roberto Homar, for joining us, and our viewers for tuning in and checking us out. Keep following BronxNet TV for continued coverage. If you're not a member of the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, you can visit us at hispanicchamber.nyc. Once again, that's hispanicchamber.nyc. You can also engage with us on LinkedIn at New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, all spelled out. And I'll see you next time for another episode of Meetings of the Minds in partnership with BronxNet. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.